Marfoogle family, and nothing stopping us. We are Marfoogle family, and nothing stopping us. You are my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do everything.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam. Tonight we're going to have a lot of news in a very short time period. So stick around. We're going to get to everything from UFOs to politics.
You are my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do. This much is true. I love the way you do everything.
All right. What is going on, guys? Man, oh man. Just before we get started, if you've never been here before, this is a live show. My name is Adam, and just a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinions, Dex's opinion, or anyone else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, make sure to get our alerts at marfooglenews.com. You can actually get push notifications there as well by clicking the red bell or saying allow to notifications. On top of that, we back up what we say on our website. Now, we actually do it and organize it by thumbnail, so when you go and click on this thumbnail, you will see that we have a bibliography of all of our shows. So when you go fresh here, it says Things Are Revving Up, which the title may change. Usually the thumbnail stays. And then, of course, you will see that we have every single article, every single tweet, every single video, all right there. And then at the end, by the end, it will be updated live with any breaking news and the callers. So remember, if you call in at 224-400-MARF and press option 4, you can get through to the show. Again, that number is going to be scrolling down below on the black line. With that all out of the way, let's get right into the news. We're going to introduce you to Dex. Dex, a full lineup of news here. What is going on, Dex? Can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam.
So, of course, Dex is going to be answering the phones. He's also going to be my co-host tonight. Dex, obviously, a lot of things have been changing over the last couple weeks. During our hiatus, a lot happened as far as the drama going on in the world. We just had a Patreon stream with about 14 people that showed up. I just want to let you guys know, me and Dex will also be doing a second one this week earlier on in the day. If anybody missed that, they can join the second where we're going to be Zooming so you guys can actually ask us any questions. That's mainly what it is. It's nothing too crazy. But we're also going to be talking about some of the stories that we can't really talk about here. Otherwise, I want to just get into this news very fast here. We've got U.S. tests next-generation fragmentation boom as viable substitute for cluster munitions. If you've ever seen a cluster boom, those things are pretty nuts. It says the U.S. Air Force recently tested a new cluster boomer that it says will no longer leave unexploded munitions on the battlefield, which can maim and kill innocent civilians decades later. One of my cousins actually had been maimed by stepping on a mine. A little bit different, but he was in the Middle E, and it was I guess a 35-year-old mine, and it blew up, and it actually blasted one of his legs off. So that actually kind of, I know someone personally that was affected to something like this. It says, during tests at Nevada's Nellis Air Force Base in July, the Air Force dropped 10 BLU-136 next-generation area attack weapons at targets to test the weapon's effectiveness. The weapon, which sits at about 2,000 pounds, is intended to replace the Pentagon's existing cluster boom arsenal following a 2017 doctrinal change in which the U.S. gave up its pledge to get rid of the booms or shells that deploy smaller exploding bomblets. So they're normally a bomb made of bombs. I mean, it's like a gun that shoots guns. Well, kind of. A gun that shoots guns that shoots bullets. So this is obviously new technology they're going to be putting into play. I'm sure I will love to get my hands on video of this stuff being tested. We'll see if they end up having it. And then we have the U.S. Army pursuing another medium-range strike missile outside discarded INF treaty's parameters. As many of you know, that treaty is now done. Now it's kind of everything's on the table. A lot of folks are thinking that they are going to be kicking things up a notch, and a big notch at that. According to Defense News, the Army is pursuing yet another medium-range missile for land and sea strikes after a program to upgrade the services using Army Tactical Missile Systems, or ATACMS. Hit an expected technical snag. The publication noted that the Army Public Affairs Office was non-specific to the problem. It says Robin Mack, a spokesperson for the Army Futures Command Research and Analysis Center at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico, told Defense News that the service had conducted a study earlier this year designed to, quote, examine future strategic fire capabilities and provide emerging insights to inform procurement options and future material capability requirements. That study found a near-term need, so a need right now, for a medium-range missile, but Mack said little other information was available to the public on the prototyping effort. Dex, do you see what I see there? I'm sure you've kind of put two and two together here. Why do they need it for near future?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot that you can read into that for sure, and it does set off alarm bells in my opinion.
You've got the Chinese scientists all leaving for all 60 of them. I believe it was 60 for overnight. I mean, it was just like, boom, they're all resigned. And over there, it's a lot different than it is here. If you resign from the Chinese government in that kind of position, you have a mark on your back. So they obviously had some sort of moral judgment on what they were playing a part in. They said, I'd rather be marked for the rest of my life than play a part in that. And then you have Abe, Prime Minister Abe, stepping down due to health issues, when again, I did tell you right on the 15th, just a few days or a week before that, the U.S. said that they wanted Japan to up their arsenal and to basically make their military way stronger. And they said, this has got to happen. Then Abe steps down. On the 15th, before he stepped down, some say that he actually quoted to some of his higher-ups that he did not want quote, the blood on my hands. So if he's stepping down for health reasons, we'll obviously see that. I don't know how much, it's not like they have, I guess, what do you call it? What is the drama site? 3-letter drama site that they have that goes around and follows celebrities? TMZ. We don't have a TMZ following around presidents or anything, so I doubt we'll find out what actually happens with that. If he is truly sick, again, a lot of the Japanese love him as their prime minister, so I'll be praying for him to be healthy if that is truly the case. And then, of course, we've got Russia spotted 43 foreign spy jets close to national airspace over the past week. Okay, so if people aren't thinking about this yet, you probably should. That's I can guarantee somebody's going to be in the comments going, "Oh, that's totally normal. That happens all the time. I'm an expert, and I was a private in the military, and we used to see 57 of them every single week." I guarantee you it's going to be something is up here. It says Moscow, the Russian armed forces detected 43 foreign jets that were engaged in reconnaissance activities close to Russia's airspace last week. The military official newspaper Zarezhna Zvezda reported on Friday. It says a weekly infographic published by the outlet showed the Russian fighter jets had been scrambled 5 times to intercept foreign aircraft. Now, that's a lot more than normal. It says within this period of time, Russia has also spotted 3 unmanned aerial vehicles, which were carrying out reconnaissance missions near the Russian borders. It It says the United States and NATO countries often send aircraft and drones to perform reconnaissance activities along Russia's border in the Baltic, in the Black Sea off of Crimea, which of course they had their issues, and Krasnodar. It says Russian air defense forces regular monitor, target, and track hundreds of NATO aircraft operating close to the border, and occasionally scramble fighter jets to escort foreign military aircraft away from Russian airspace. So obviously they are upping the amount of spy jets. Why would they be doing that? Obviously there's something there that they are trying to see, or they are trying to prep up and say, they're trying to see. It would seem here that the consistency of it is they are trying to be ahead of the curve and catch them right when they do something. That would just be my guess. Dex, do you have a guess on why they would be upping it this high? As far as how, as far as these foreign spy jets going to Russia?
Well, I think, I'm sorry, I'm here. I think the big thing that comes to my mind is that there's been so much. We had the tests that they were doing, and the I guess you want to call them conflict games that they were running, and then of course we run our own. But then you've got all this extra tension, especially there in Europe, and a lot of intercepts that have been going on. So.
Well, obviously something is going on, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that. James Fox, thank you so much for your support. It looks like you did 2 in a row. I appreciate that. You can always write a message there. Michael Gregory, welcome to the channel. Mr. Unproductive, thank you for following. And then Angela Olson, thank you, and welcome to the Foogle fam. As far as what do you guys think is going on over there? Baldy Locks Awake says, watch 2 UFOs hit in sky in 70s when 12 explodes. Now that's sounds like a story you should call in. Again, thank you, Baldylocks, and of course Jen Lay Awake. Thank you guys. And then we've got Jilly J, love the Foogle family, Jumpmaster. We've got tons of people in here. Hey Marf, hope you and family feeling better. Good to see you. Veteran Steve, thank you for following me over from the Patreon. And then here for Real News and Mama of 6 Homemade Joy, thank you as well. I see all of you guys popped in. And then let's see here. If you guys want to protect yourself against an EMP threat, I would highly recommend actually looking at an EMP shield. Again, you guys can go to marfooglenews.com/EMP and you can pick up yours. I will be going through things very quickly. We're going to go to the first caller, and then we're going to be going to NASA spacecraft falls to Earth after being mistaken for an asteroid. Dex, do we have our first caller at 224-400 Marv?
Yes, Adam, we do. And our first caller, we're getting him on the line right now. There we go. First caller, Adam, is Joseph Newhouse. Joseph, you are live.
What is going on?
Hey, Adam.
So I'm guessing you digged.
Go ahead.
No, I'm guessing you did some digging on the subjects I talked about.
Yeah. So that first that video that Twisted Luck Truth called in about, I did some effects like you suggested. So there's just like 3. You can play the video if you want. It's like 2 minutes. I did like 3 or 4 different effects on it, and the last one you can kind of see it does sort of look like that thing he was talking about, TR3B. And so yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to,
like, you can actually see it.
I'm trying to pull it up. Something digitally went wrong with where I was trying to get that information, so hold on 1 sec.
Sure.
Dex, I'm going to grab that link from you. For whatever reason, this window just went totally nuts. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull this over. Can you explain what exactly we are looking at? And then let's see here. The first link, right?
Yeah, the first one should be it.
Okay, 1 sec. Bam, bam. And is there a timestamp that we should be looking at? It's only 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah, you can start at maybe 20 seconds in. The first few seconds I showed the end part first, and then kind of a part you can't really see, and then it goes to there's like a pink one, which is kind of interesting, and then the blue one at the end is you can definitely see like a shape. And I have the audio and the video, but I did mute out some portions, just a few words, to make it more friendly. And but yeah, he said this Twist of Luck Truth when he called in. It was 2 shows ago, and he mentioned TR3 and a B, and I typed that into Google, and it looks kind of like it's like right after he says, "Can you see this on the video?" or something like that, and then you see this. It like appears for a second, and then it kind of goes away. And I looked up. It said, they don't officially exist, but they use plasma for like stealth purposes or something like that. So it's kind of quote kind of stuff.
Now, I again, like the video the other night that was at nighttime, many people could not see it when they were watching the show, but when we gave the link to those videos, they went over, and we actually had somebody do negative on the videos and do all sorts of different tests with it, and one did find a crazy object. As far as this looks really weird. What are the lines? It almost looks like it's an old school film. That's weird.
Yeah, that's one of the when it's gray, I think that's just part of the effect. It does the lines to make it more interesting, but the rest of it is just kind of what the light picks up. And like I say, if you skip to like the last 20 seconds or so, you should see kind of lit up in the kind of upper left middle of the screen. You see like a triangle, or like it looks like a boomerang kind of shape.
Okay, we're watching it now.
Okay. Yeah, and then while you're looking at that, I sent you another link for the. You were talking about, it was like several days ago, that weird star symbol. You didn't talk about it, but you showed it to us, and then you went over to DLive after that. But yeah, so I kind of looked at it and was turn it around and stuff, and related it to this. My friend was talking about Kingdom Hearts symbolism, and he was telling me there's all these like interesting symbols with hearts and stars and stuff like that. And so I kind of tied those together, and I think you have the link for that if anyone wants to see it like after the show or something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull it up either way, and then if you guys haven't checked out Joseph Newhouse, he it looks like he just surpassed 3,000 subscribers, so that is awesome. And then let's see here.
Thanks for all your help with that.
Yeah, no problem. And then of course you got the Democrat symbol there with the symbology. Yeah. So Joseph, one thing that I would say that he's almost kind of an expert in as far as symbology. He's done a lot of videos based on some of the subjects we've covered here on the show, and then he'll go more in depth into it. I actually don't know if you caught. I think you did. Did you? I don't know if you said this already, but did you go into the Great Filter, and have you looked more into that as far as the Elon Musk stuff?
Oh. Like right when you said it, I Googled it up right when you said it, but I didn't finish looking into that. It sounded like the way you said it could make like a good video or something.
It's
be
probably
interesting.
Pretty complicated, but I guess it doesn't have to fully relate to Elon, but Elon says that we must pass the Great Filter, and I thoroughly think that guy is throwing us out some stuff, whether it be for evil purposes or for happy purposes or whatever. That guy... Think about it. We're going to Mars. They even just said today, there was stories came out. Elon said that the first settlers on Mars will die. That's just a crazy thought. The first people, wow. if it's real, some people don't even believe that we are going anywhere, and that's fine. But if they do go to the planet Mars, the first settlers will die. I mean, that's like, imagine being in that position saying you'll make history, you'll be the first person on Mars or whatever, but you're also going to die there. It's a one-way trip. Why would they be so desperate to start things off if that's the case? Why do we really need to do it? Normally, they don't put human life like that for something that wouldn't make us money. It doesn't make too much sense. But Joseph, if you could look into that as well, we'll link both of your videos and we'll make sure to send everybody over. And I appreciate you doing this, especially with all the symbology and things that you cover from our show.
Yeah, the way you said it like that about the passing the filter, it sounds kind of weird. I might have to look into that after the show. But
I'm telling you,
thanks
there's
so much
something there.
for doing your show.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. You know, I get inspiration from watching your show and, you know, the way you talk about things. And, yeah, I really appreciate what you do, man.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. And again, it's nice to have you continually do backup videos on us. And especially like you honestly go into some subjects that people really want us to go deeper into. And we just don't. So thank you, Joseph, and you have a great night.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye. So another thing, too. Last night we did a love mob, and we didn't quite get there. So I just want to remind you guys, there is a channel that I hope we can help. The thing is when you meet the couple, a lot of people did not realize that the first video on there, they do van tours. They're off-grid. They are truly, I mean, their channel goes hand in hand with what we talk about is being capable to go and live off grid. Their channel name is FNA Van Life. So I wanted to do an official one. I'm going to put it up early and I'm going to give you guys the link and I'm going to show you the first video there. And then I'm going to go at the very end and I will check. We almost got them there. We got them almost 1,000 subscribers so far. But here's the thing. If they get to 10,000, they can do the YouTube stories, which helps them, which if they do daily stories, they can actually get into the algorithm and grow. It helps, especially when you're under 100,000 and you're over 10,000 to do those YouTube stories. But they can't do it because the requirement is over 10,000 subscribers. And this is the couple right here. These guys, in fact, they help other off-gridders by doing tours of their stuff. They actually help other people, and they genuinely are. It only took about half an hour of talking with these people to realize that they were absolutely amazing people. So that wasn't them either. Hold on. But this is the couple, and they gave me a tour of their van, which was really cool. That's not him either. Don't know why it keeps clicking on that guy. FNA Van Life. If we can get them to 10,000, that would be the goal. This is a official love mob. And then we can click on this and then we're going to go to their first video. A lot of people have already showed up there. In fact, I'm just going to go to a couple of the comments here. Let's see. It was this retired van one that everybody went to. But let's go to Sunday Fun Day. It was a live stream they did 4 days ago. And then I saw tons of Foogle family members actually pop in here, and they were all showing love. So I thought that was really awesome. See, Carolyn Winkle, Marfoogle News, Adam sent me. Hello. Beautiful couple. Smart kid popped up. Love watching you guys. Very entertaining. Adam Marfoogle sent me your way. We live in a fifth wheel. Again, these guys, if you live like this as well, reach out to them and they'll do a tour of your rig. That's what they're doing. They're traveling all over the country and all over the world doing it. You've been Foogle Fam Love Mob, says Aaron Lynn. Sadie Diker. Let's see. Bob's Adventures on Wheels. Love it. Tan Vlogs. Soul Food Queen. Justin Wade. What is going on? So if you go and comment on that video, we'll check in on the very end of the video and we'll read the comments. Okay. And then let's see here. Going back into the news, NASA spacecraft falls to Earth after being mistaken for an asteroid. Man. Okay, so it says a NASA spacecraft has safely dropped down to Earth and burnt up in its atmosphere. The space agency has said it safely dropped back into Earth over the South Pacific Saturday. Burning up as it did, NASA had assured the public before the event that it would pose no threat to our planet or anyone on it. It says this is a normal final operational occurrence for retired spacecraft. How many of you think that that was not a spacecraft and that was something that they purposely were watching for and they couldn't hide too much because they were actually tracking it? One thing I want to remind you about is the studies going on at University of Glasgow and how they are trying to get, in fact, there was an argument in our comment section, or actually it was on Twitter, about the fact that they are trying to figure out not only how to deflect asteroids, but how to, inflict asteroids into the Earth. They're trying to get a big enough asteroid where it would make it through our atmosphere, but also small enough to where it wouldn't destroy Earth. So they've already done this, and that's my firm belief on that. They had the one that actually landed off of the Washington coast where FBI, CIA, all these agencies took over a small town in the West Coast, and every hotel was filled by these agencies, NASA and everything, and they were waiting for trying to find this special meteor that came down into the water. So I think that was one of them, but they are trying to do this because maybe because they're trying to get money out of it to try to mine it for something that we don't have here on Earth, or some other reason. Think about it. If you had the power to go out in space and redirect an asteroid and it hit a city and it was last minute, the way that technology might be the best in the world, but we still have asteroids that hit and we don't catch, which means Russia doesn't catch them and China doesn't catch them. So if you wanted to have a blameless effect on a country, well, one, you would have something just, blow up out of nowhere, or you would have some sort of asteroid come down, because they can't blame that on us. It wouldn't come from us. It would come from space, so it wouldn't trigger any nuclear response. It's an asteroid. It's an act of God. So you could see why they would want to be able to control asteroids. And people think that this is not a real thing. Once University of Glasgow published some of the papers on it and talked about it, many came out and said, yeah, they're trying to do it. They're trying to get asteroids to not only miss Earth, but hit Earth. Again, it's up to your opinion. If I know we got some people in the crowd that just, not on that same side, but I personally think that they are doing all sorts of stuff up there. The Space Force, it's not going to be televised. We'll just say that. There's things going on above us right now, and I would not be surprised if one of you is looking up and all of a sudden sees a big boom in space and nobody talks about it. So this is what I was talking about. Elon Musk says settlers will likely die on Mars, and he's right. This is a Popular Mechanics piece. It says, earlier this week, Elon Musk said that there's a, quote, good chance settlers in the first Mars mission will die. And, well, that's easy to imagine. He and others are working hard to plan and minimize the risk of death by hardship or accident. It says, in fact, the goal is to have people comfortably die on Mars after a long life of work and play that we hope looks at least a little like life on Earth. It says they are already major structural questions about how humans will settle on Mars. How will we aim Musk's planned hundreds of starships at Mars during the right times for the shortest, safest trips? How will the spaceship turn into something that safely lands on the planet's surface? And how will astronauts reasonably survive a year-long trip in cramped, close quarters where maximum possible volume is allotted for supplies? So you are talking about a ship that most of the space is the building supplies, the building materials, and then the people have to basically cram together. I wonder if they're going to put them to sleep, if they do, if this is even a real thing. Again, hate to question it, but I mean, look at the videos that come out. As far as why are they trying to go to Mars? What is up? This has not slowed down through the entire CV event. This hasn't slowed down a bit. They are pumping up stuff. They have to get there by this deadline and this deadline. And they're also looking at when it comes closest. If it doesn't hit it when it's the closest, I think that they're still going to be sending off people. So there's I'm sure a part of the group here, part of the Foogle fam, that does believe that not only are they going to Mars, but they have to go to Mars. They're starting things like Asgardia. I mean, I've talked about all these on previous shows. You know, I see this as something that, you know, there's something that they know that they are not telling us. And then Elon Musk's creepy memes that he posts, like the dog coin, and it looks like an asteroid just hit Earth. And then he posted the actual meme that says, in reality, and it shows a astronaut on the moon, and it's looking at the Earth, and an asteroid went right through the Earth. People think that he's just an eccentric guy, or that he's just doing it for attention. I don't know. I think it creeps me out because it's like so blatantly in front of us. Do you guys think that? I mean, do you guys notice that, or what? Am I totally wrong? You guys can correct me. Dixie Doe, Mersa1, KCH3, thank you guys for all coming tonight. D-Live 420, Johnny Doom, Appalachian Girl, Channel Jammer, Starlink is already testing in Washington State. Wow, what a crazy, crazy world we live in. Amy R., who is literally our top contributor of all time, thank you for gifting a subscription to Rebel Yell. And then we've got Cool Ant, Foogle Fan, Scooby-Doo, Do Right, Minnesota Man, Bear Lover, I Love Jesus Forever, and Frank Webb. Thank you guys for all coming. Let's see here. And then we have an earthquake, a magnitude 3.8 that rattles northwest Florida and Alabama. Dex, I'm going to pull you in for this one. As far as some of the earthquakes that have been happening, we also had Chile a few days ago. Some say that there was actually some UFO footage from the other day. I'm actually going to pull that up in the background, but why would people be looking at this earthquake with raised eyebrows?
Well, hey, Adam, I think the thing that's really interesting here is this earthquake, you know, is in an area that is like really rare, right? And everybody was sort of like, whoa, what's going on down there? You know, it's not uncommon to hear of a quake, you know, coming along the Appalachians or coming up through, Georgia and the Carolinas and all that, but down that far south just seems a little different. And it took a lot of people by surprise. It's not a major quake. It didn't really, cause any damage from what I understand, but to see that type of shaking and even at that level, at that location is kind of alarming.
So have you guys noticed that this year we've seen more unique, I mean, what is the quote from the Bible? Earthquakes in various places. I mean, that's in the Bible. Let me pull up the quote. And some of you may not be into the Bible, but that's okay. You can at least listen to this quote, because I'm telling. Let's see here. Somebody in chat. I'm going to give the chat this real quick. What quote am I looking for? Help me Google this. Let's see here. In fact, I was going to turn that on. Okay, somebody give me it. Somebody give me that. Let's see here. In various places. Bam. And I'm probably going to have to add. Bam. Look at this. Matthew 24:7. No, what am I thinking of here? Signs of the end of the age, you will hear wars and rumors of wars, but see it to it that you are not alarmed. These things must happen, but the end is still come. Nation will rise against nation, the kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the birth pains. Isn't that just the creepiest thing? And this is just one of thousands of places in the Bible where you are seeing direct correlations with what is going on right now. And it's not confirmation bias. I mean, we're talking about where things line up to the point where people that are just straight up atheists, even if they still continue not to believe in God, they are saying, like, this is creepy. They even make some stories up like it's not God is time travel or something like that. I've heard a lot of people in some of our Discord groups when we had them talk about this and argue about it. But I do think that some of this stuff is just lining up like crazy. I think you guys already know. Most of you talk about this all the time. Chris Vigil, thank you so much for your support. Christian Moore, please say hi to my neighbor Bob, a great man. Bob, thank you. Hopefully you're watching. EMP Shield, whoa, thank you so much for supporting. We need more news like this. Adam and Dex, keep it up. Thank you so much. Tonight we're doing a quicker show because I wanted to be on track. I know that it's late. I feel bad. A lot of people that said now when we do late shows, it screws up our crowd that, they have to go to bed in the East Coast, including Dex. Able-bodied, I support those that are doing great work. Hope this love offering blesses your channel. Show Marf some love. Hugs, blessings, and love to the Foogle fam. Thank you, Able-bodied. You've been here for a long time, I think 3 years now. So thank you for your continued support. Natalie Kennedy, thank you for your generous support, but please write a message, say hi, write a sonnet. Either way, I love to get to know you guys, and especially if you do write something, I do remember that stuff. Hugh Jackson, thank you for following. Again, Natalie Kennedy, thank you. Susan Donahue, Adam, Dex, Mods, and Foogle fam. I am so very grateful for each and every one of you. If I were a betting woman, my money would be on Team Humanity. Vanessa Doe, Doe Girl Sisters, love you guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Vanessa. And then Backwoods Ingenuity, live free, travel light, work hard. Hope you're feeling better, Marf. Much love, the Mod Squad. And then Concrete Watershed, I appreciate your positive reporting always. Well, thank you, Concrete Watershed. I don't think I've met you before, so thank you. Let's see here. As far as the earthquakes in various places, you guys know earlier this year we had, how many states that we never have earthquakes in, including the big ones in, I want to say Idaho. Off the top of my head, there's at least 4 that I can think of. So what the heck is going on? Would this be connected to New Madrid? I don't know the faults. I don't think so. I don't know what faults this would be. Again, you can read the rest of the article right there on our website. And then, of course, let's see here. Boom, boom. We're going to get our next caller. If you guys want to support us in a different way, you can always support us by going through Nord. If you're going to get a virtual private network, you should probably get one of the best ones out there and the most top rated. And you will get a huge savings by doing so and protect yourself at the same time and help our channel. Dex, if we can, let's bring in our next caller. And it looks like it is another... Actually, Nana is up next on deck, which is a first-time caller. We have Gloria wants to do something here. Gloria, what's going on?
Hey, Marv, it's so good to talk to you again.
Well, how are you doing, Gloria? It looks like you know somebody that actually survived the Hurricane Laura. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Southern Boy Prepper. He's got a channel, but he was planning on staying at his house, and that was when it was supposed to just be a Cat 3 when Hurricane Laura was going to hit the banks of Louisiana. But it turned into a Cat 4. And he said, no, we're not going to do this. And at the last minute, at about 8 o'clock that night, just as Laura was starting to pummel the coast, he loaded up his family and they drove all the way to Dayton, Texas, spent the night in a parking lot behind a high school building, and then returned the next day. And he said it was just so hard driving back that there were trucks and people with chainsaws and trying to clear the roads, and so it took them a really long time to get home. And the closer to home they got, the worse the destruction was, and their heart was in their mouth when they were driving home, and just not knowing what to expect, when they got there. But the house is standing. They lost a barn. It's an old barn, but a tree fell on that. He's got big trees down all over his property, more than what one man in 18-year-old son could clear. And what he thought at first was everything was good turned out that the roof of his house was leaking like a sieve. So he had to climb up there with the 2 tarps that he could rustle up from the house there. And then he had to drive all the way past Beaumont, Texas to get tarps because they were price gouging in the Louisiana area, wanting $80 for a 20-foot tarp. So they had to drive all the way to Texas to get tarps. And they only had to pay $7 a piece for them there.
Is that
they
disgusting?
Don't have cell phone service on.
That's disgusting.
I'm sorry, what?
That's disgusting, by the way. The fact that they would
I know.
take somebody who's already down on their luck and then charge, what is that, 8 times as much? That's 9 or 10 times as much. That's disgusting. People should be arrested for that.
I know. They really should be writing tickets. Somebody should be out there when they price gouge like that. I mean, it's like that when you need water and different things, you know. I mean, in all kinds of disasters, there's things that you have to have. And then they want to price gouge for it. Like generators right now are just gone. They can't, nobody can get a generator. People are stealing generators from people that have generators. It's just nuts. I mean, it's just like a war zone over there. But he said the destruction when he was driving home was so bad. He said, you don't even want to film it. You just don't even want to go there, you know?
Well,
because it's so bad.
Well, I also hope that everybody love mobs South Boy Prepper, Southern Boy Prepper, and again, you guys can end up going over and saying what's up to him and say the Foogle family sent you. It looks like he has a video of his drive back through, and it says the aftermath from Hurricane Laura. So I hope you guys all check that out.
Right.
I hope he's monetized, because if anybody, this is some way that we can help him without even helping. Just go over there and watch his videos if you can. And if you guys want to go say what's up to him, it sounds like so it's just him and his 18-year-old boy. God, can you imagine how much work they have?
Yeah, for all those trees, the huge trees. I mean, you know, he's got one leaning into another one that, you know, he thinks he'd need a crane to get it down. I told him, I said, stay away from it, you know, make sure the kids don't go out there anywhere around it. And there's all kinds of limbs down and the big trees, and it's a mess. But like I said, when he got home at first, you know, because the house was standing, the only thing he thought was a problem was that the tree had fallen on the old barn. But as the further along he went into, you know, being at home, the more problems he saw, you know. So they're struggling. And the thing is that Reagan works as an independent contractor. He's got a really good job as an inspector for like the refineries and things like that. And the thing is that they shut down everything before the hurricane came. And now they don't have power to get them back up and running, so they're really struggling, you know, to keep the house note and, you know, the insurance and things like that going. The insurance company is supposed to be sending out a professional roof tarping company. I've never heard of that before, but they're supposed to be sending them out to put tarps all over his roof until the insurance adjuster can go out. And a lot of what's happening with the insurance is that they're like, oh, well, that was wind damage. We don't pay for that, you know? And so he doesn't even know if his insurance is going to cover the roof. And, but, you know, I want to shout out Mr. Tom at Deep South Bama. He did a video. And Yosemite Prepper. What a neat kid that guy is, huh?
Yeah, he is. We helped him. He has been doing this a while, and he's young. Couldn't believe that such a young man would be so smart.
I know. And he does these videos, and it's just like short, sweet, to the point, but it's loaded with information. I'm so impressed with him.
Look, he did a
and then
video.
Survival Living did a video.
He
Oh,
did
I'm
a
sorry.
video. He did a video for Southern Boy Prepper, and it says needs our help, and put his PayPal first. This is really cool. I appreciate Yosemite.
I mean, he's just the neatest kid.
Yeah, we've love mobbed him before. I hope it looks like we did help him too. If you guys want to love mob Yosemite
Yes.
Prepper as well, he's a really good kid. If you haven't watched any of his videos, he's better than half of the older gentlemen out on here doing prepper videos. He's extremely smart. And then him and the other one, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, a 13-year-old prepper that has been doing videos for like 5 years or something. Yosemite's been doing it for a while too. So great, both great kids. Was there one
Yeah,
last?
I don't know the 13-year-old. So if anybody knows that, throw that out there. And then Survival Living, he did a video to help, and Homestead DIY with L&T, they did a video. So he's gotten enough to, cover his mortgage and his cell phone, because he's got to have that, for his work. And but they're there with no internet. It's just depressing. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
I
and then it
completely
looks
hear
like
that.
3 more weeks before they even have electricity. And he said that there were so many electrical trucks from different places out of state that were there, that the National Guard are there, and they're doing a lot of work and clearing roads and all debris and stuff. I mean, I think the recovery is going to be slow, but I think they're making really good progress for what's happened there.
Well, Gloria, I want to thank you for bringing this to my attention. I did not know, and thank you for bringing us yet another awesome channel. And again, if they're connected with all these, Survival Living, actually, who you just shouted out, just did a super chat and didn't even write anything. Thank you for supporting. It sounds like you actually did some support for Southern Boy Prepper, so I appreciate that you guys are all sticking up for each other. This is what I like to see, that the prepper community, most of it is actually really awesome with each other, and they push each other up. For whatever reason, in the kind of truther, whatever you want to call it, community, a lot of people are putting each other down when, what is the reason? Even if you disagree, get right past that. We have a way bigger enemy that all of us agree on, that there's out there. So I'm super glad for Survival Living, all of you guys that help each other. Thank you, Gloria, for calling in tonight. And please don't make it your last call, okay?
I won't, but can I say one thing that I didn't tell Dex?
Go ahead.
Okay. The V-scenes with the chips and dip can be activated by radio waves. And I think when people start dropping in the streets, they'll say it's a worse CV. What do you think?
I think that I can't make a comment on that, but I think that I will be putting something out on my website that relates highly to it, and we'll have a big name on there. So we're working on something right now that relates to that. So, but more to come. Thank you so much, Gloria. And
awesome.
Again,
thank you. And hey, Foogle fam, I love you guys. I'm waving really hard and throwing kisses. Can you see me?
You just hit me right in the side of the face.
All right.
Have a good one.
I love you guys. Love you, Marv. Love you, Dex. Thanks
right.
so much for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe throw smaller kisses next time. Ow. 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 Justice Department plans to file an antitrust charge against Google in the coming weeks. It says out of Washington, the Justice Department plans to bring an antitrust case against the big Google as soon as this month. after Attorney General William P. Barr overruled career lawyers who said that they needed more time to build a strong case against one of the world's wealthiest, most formidable technology companies. It says, according to 5 people briefed on internal department conversations. Wow, they are taking on the big boys, like you know, the alphabet big boys. It says Justice Department officials told lawyers involved in the antitrust inquiry into the parent company of to wrap up their work by the end of September, according to 3 people. It says most of the 40-odd lawyers who had been working on the investigation opposed the deadline. Some said that they would not sign the complaint, and several of them left the case this summer. So a lot of people left it because they just couldn't. I mean, you're going to, I don't know, man. I think those guys can, you'll have somebody knocking on your door. Those guys are big. Like you disappear big. I don't know. I'm just saying. Not going to say anything more. If you want to read the rest of that article, you can. We'll see some big stuff out of that, I hope. And then we have, of course, why Mr. Bezos is hiring ex-spooks to keep tabs on his employee. It says much ink has been spilled on how trillion-dollar technology companies have become more powerful than nation-states. But the conceit seems particularly apt on Tuesday, when Amazon inadvertently broadcast the details of an intelligence unit it is packing full of ex-military and Secret Service agents. So they're putting ex-spooks in and watching their people. Why would you think they would do something like this? The Global Intelligence Program is on the hunt for ex-spooks to sniff out traitors among the company's ranks, monitor employee activists, and gather information on hostile political leaders, a job description revealed. This role is, quote, vital to ensuring that Amazon operations leadership have access to actionable intelligence that informs decision-making on a global scale. What? Dex, do you hear the wording that they're using here? Like, this is scary.
Yeah.
This is like...
What company needs this? I mean, this isn't even HR, right? This is like HR on
steroids.
On CIA steroids, right?
What? Okay, I get that they have Blue Origin, but we're talking about Amazon. This isn't like Blue Origin, which probably has, government contracts. I'm assuming Amazon does too, though.
I mean, maybe he's going to become like some sort of, world leader. Who knows? I don't know. This is a very strange position.
What do you guys think of this? Like, we're talking about, we're literally talking about them talking about activists and fishing these people out and traitors. What in the world? Like, is this preparing for November? Just weird.
He is the richest man in the world. I saw another headline about him. The richest woman in the world is his ex-wife.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah, that's a headline. But literally,
why is she rich though? She's not rich because, is she rich because of no prenup or something or what?
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming because the assets that she owns from him are probably, partly in Amazon or whatever, and she's probably making as much bank as he's making.
That's crazy. And okay, so to put it into perspective here, this guy has so much money, he can, just like if you had like a dollar bill and you gave it to a homeless man, he can take that same dollar in his bank account, the same size as it might be your dollar, and buy a $2 billion or a $2 billion submarine that is a submarine yacht. And they say that Bezos is one of the few people that has not one, but like several of these things. And we're talking about a luxury submarine as big as a military submarine, only the inside, there's no, military stuff. It's just a big 7,000 square foot house. I just think it's nuts that these people are so rich that, say, the Burj Khalifa, one of the largest buildings in the world, over like a mile in the sky, he can buy that with his chump change. Is that not mind-boggling to people? The money off of the interest off of 1% of his net worth is enough that we could live on for the rest of our lives. The interest for probably a month. You wouldn't even need a whole year. That's what's so messed up. It's like we grind and we grind, and it's like somebody like this could just put $1 million in one of our accounts, and we could, possibly live off of interest. It wouldn't be $1 million, maybe $10 million. Just place it there. Doesn't even have to give you money. Wouldn't have to give you a cent. Just loan you the money that you can't touch, put it in there and get and earn the interest off of. It's crazy. Mama of 6, Luna Soul, Johnny Doom, thank you. Lane Cloud, Tiptoed. Mersa 1, thank you so much, so kindly for driving up in a Guinea. Thank you. I appreciate your donation. And then Melissa Lins, we've got Salty Soul, Kel Lizzie, and then, of course, Billy Wilkerson. Love the name. And let's see, tons of folks over here. Tamara Rodriguez, thank you so much for your support. You can always write something with that. Same with you, Johnny Hump, thank you. And Survival Living, I appreciate that again. Jason Beck says, hope all is well. Took your advice. I am back on YouTube. Channel is all about Jesus and God's Word. Praying for you and your family. That's awesome, Jason Beck. I told you shouldn't have ever closed that channel in the first place. You just got to keep going, whether you're doing videos from your bed, from your car, from wherever you have to do them from. Just keep going. Tamara Rodriguez says, hey, I'm in Southern California looking for a group. Who's ready or getting ready? Tamara, we will have something soon. We are hoping to have something ready that replaces the Discord. Two old people on a couch, says AP reporting the man who bang the Patriot in Portland was bang by law enforcement tonight. No way. We will have to look that up. We will try to update our show accordingly. Dex, I don't know if you heard that, but they're saying possibly law enforcement took out the guy that took out the guy in that 600 car thing.
I saw that come through just recently, so it's confirmed. And
can we link that on the website? So
yeah, we'll find the link and put it on the website.
Okay, and then DJ G Rod says, what's been going on with the Schumann resonance going haywire? Again, I want to have somebody on here that knows more than me, most likely in the next couple days. Even if it goes past, if you didn't see, the Schumann resonance had this like weird flat line. That's what I thought it was. Again, I haven't looked too much into it. And then I don't know if that's the same. No, it's not. Natalie Kennedy, thank you so much for your huge support tonight. Again, I thank you, Natalie Kennedy. Please write something. Again, I just really appreciate both of you guys tonight. EMP Shield and Natalie Kennedy. Thank you. All right, and then we have, would the United States military intervene in the results? So, as you heard Dex earlier saying that somebody actually said that they would intervene. It was starts with a H, ends with a inton, said no matter what, not to concede or secede. What is it? Concede to T-Man if he wins. So Mrs. HC said to JB, never concede. Even if he does win fair and square, don't concede the erection to T-Man. Dex, is that crazy or what? We're having people say that stuff in public. This isn't like an email that got out. This is her saying it in public.
Yeah, and part of that, and we did talk about this earlier, but part of, on the other meetup we had, but yeah, part of that is also they're calling for the military to help make the decision or enforce a decision, and I think they're sort of putting the military, which is traditionally apolitical, right? They stay out. They don't get involved at all. And so it's really pushing and putting the military in an interesting, conundrum.
So it says there are chilling moments in this presidency that tell us everything we need to know, but they're somehow lost in the fog. One occurred just a few days ago when General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had to reaffirm for Congress that there would be no role for the United States military in the election this year. It says, for any other presidency, such a statement would be regarded as entirely unnecessary. But in this administration where anything goes, it was absolutely critical, saying that the military would not be used during this. Do you guys get what they're saying? That it might be such a crazy thing that they would need to use it? It says his statement came in the remarkable exchange during questions for the record posed by two members of the House Armed Services Committee. Representative Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan served as a Central Intelligence Agency analyst, a CIA, and a Defense Department official, while Representative Mikkel Sherrill of New Jersey is a former Navy helicopter pilot. It says Slotkin and Sherrill have three concerns. First, a wag the dog moment where DT orders military action to distract the public instead of protect the country. Second, do you realize what she just said? Second, the deployment of some armed forces to intervene with the the deployment of some armed forces to intervene. And then three, including stationing military members at the polls, the potential that T-Man will claim he is still the commander-in-chief come January, even if the results say otherwise. Is this nuts? This is what's going on. They are basically saying this. These people, Slotkin and Sherrill, one of their first ones is saying that they would stage something to stay in office, or put the military to stay in office, or say, I'm not leaving. Do you think he'll do that? I'd love to hear you in chat. It's crazy. It says, these concerns may seem unusual, but they are legitimate with a White House that seems to believe the military serves as a useful tool to secure partisan ambitions. T-Man raided the Pentagon budget to build a border wall that Congress opposed, withdrew soldiers meant to protect Kurdish allies, and sent them to guard oil fields. Which, by the way, he said right out in the open, he's like, nope, our boys, we still have boys protecting that oil. It's ours now. He said that on, like, no other politician before that. They would have had a PR person, like, figure out what he's saying. One thing you can't knock is he just, like, blatantly says stuff that no other president would ever say. And some people hate him for it. And it's definitely unique. If you guys don't want to be tracked and traced, and if you want to have your phone not basically intervened in, you guys can check out EDEC bags. They're basically Faraday bags made by a company that has dealt with all of the agencies. They usually sell these as evidence bags, because if you put a laptop or the cell phone of a bad guy, they can't remote wipe it. Again, you can get your own bag at EDEC. You can go marfooglenews.com/EDEC with the savings code Marfoogle. All right, we're going to get our next caller on. Looks like, and then we're going to talk about the hilarious intro today on this White House press briefing. Okay, Dex, let's pull in our next caller. It looks like we have a first-time caller.
Yeah, Adam, next up we have Nona.
Nona, strange things at the military base outside of Kansas. What's going on with that?
It's Kansas City, Virginia Bauer Air Force Base.
So,
where they used to do all the famous flights and the Angels and all of them came to play.
Okay, and so what's going on here? What have you been seeing?
Honestly, it's my granddaughter that's been seeing most anything. She loves helicopters. She loves airplanes. Anytime anything flies overhead, she runs outside and she's like, oh, 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 and she's going on 3. She knows what Chinooks are. And they don't do them on the regular. I don't know how to phrase it. They just don't do them on the regular schedule they used to. And then years ago, we had the whole thing of they were doing the underground Air Force operations because this was the area where if nuclear holocaust went down, then, they would shut off certain things. And that was years ago.
So you almost sound nervous to talk about what you're talking about. There is a huge nuclear significance in Kansas. Most of the movies actually show Kansas as kind of, you've seen the scenes in the fields where they take off the missiles. They've got a lot of them.
One of the movies that was actually based out of one of my kind of hometowns, just outside of the area, which was I can't remember the name of the movie. It was done in the early 80s. It was about the nuclear weapons going off in Wichita and different places and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't really think completely significant. I just think it's amazing that she's more of what's going on than what I see, and she points it out to me. And over the years, they've claimed that they're doing certain things out here, with the underground silos and different things. I don't know.
Well, you know what you can do is you can go out wherever you are, especially if you're in Kansas and you're near any of that. If you see anything strange, videotape it and send it in, especially in Kansas. If you guys haven't seen some of the movies that are out there, almost every end of the world nuclear scenario on movies shows a scene, and it's almost like they all use the same footage of Kansas with the cornfields and the missiles launching off. I've seen at least 5 very well-known nuclear scenarios because that's a big storage spot for them.
Yeah, most of the silos that they used to hold were in this area. And that's what I was saying is the area that they did in that one show in the 80s was based on a downtown area in a town where I grew up and partied.
Well, there's a lot going on.
The dream I used to have, which is probably just paranoia dreams, but was the bridges being destroyed over I-80 so we couldn't get between.
Gloria, I'm sorry. It sounds like your phone is hiccuping. Has your phone had anything to drink tonight? It keeps clicking.
No.
Maybe you've got the.
I'm sorry.
You don't work for Jeff Bezos, do you?
Who?
You don't work for Jeff Bezos, do you? You don't have any. You don't have any spooks watching you?
It's a possibility I have spooks watching me, but that would be your fault.
Hey, that was actually a good comeback. I think that we're all on a list.
No, that's not a comeback. I've been denied a couple of jobs because of my affiliation between my options of who I watch and what I project. So I could actually lose my job tonight, which is a temporary job, from talking to you, even though I didn't tell you what job I have.
Okay. Well, if you would like to talk off air, it sounds like you are. It's a very confusing thing because I understand that you're trying to be careful, but I would love to talk to you off air about if there's anything else that you can talk about and you would like to keep anonymous. I get what you mean. I understand what you're saying. Well, thank you so much. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
I've been trying to get a hold of you for a couple of years because I hadn't come up with anything until the last few years, maybe 5. Your show, and I keep getting beeps in my ears, so I'm guessing I'm in trouble. But is there a better way to contact you?
Well, we have your information, so we can contact you. And if you want to change a way up or go on Zoom or something, yeah, I think that we need to talk then. I get the feeling that we should. I appreciate it. Yeah, your phone is clicking like crazy.
Blinks in my
That's not us.
Blinks in my ear.
That's not our end. So we'll talk to you later. Obviously, yeah. Maybe I'll take this off the screen. Thank you, ma'am. And it's nice meeting you, and we will be in touch, okay? Let's see here. So, it sounded like her phone is being tapped or something. I don't know. Or it could... I thought her face was hitting it, but she's saying it's not. So, sometimes... I made jokes about it the last night when your face hits the phone. But that's weird. I wonder if she has a position that... Obviously, she says she can't talk about it. She says it's a temporary one. But who knows? Could just be faulty internet stuff. That was we won't even repeat it. That was a caller from Missouri. Again, I will try to reach out to you tomorrow. It will probably not be tonight because we're on such a late schedule tonight. But I do appreciate you calling in. And then Aaron, we have Aaron, first-time caller, coming in. And I will try to update you guys on whatever, if I can. Aaron, first-time caller, calling about the mark of the beast.
Hi.
Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Marv?
I'm fantastic. So, are you talking about current society and what's going on with this?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between current events and just prophecy in general. Basically, the Bible in 1 Thessalonians 5 says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." And this is like one of the most known verses by people. And just 2 verses later, it says, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." And I just want to also reference real quick Mark 13, verse 26, and it says, "And they shall," verse 24, and it says, "But in those days after the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers of the earth, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven." And I also believe that when the Bible references the people of God, it calls them saints. And I believe with the current situation that's going on in America and in the world, they're kind of prepping everybody for the mark of the beast. And I believe that Christians will be here for that, according to the Bible, and that the mark of the beast is a war against Christians. And that's pretty much the sum of what I have to say.
Well, it can be short and sweet, but as far as you guys all probably see that they're now talking about actually doing digital devices that track all of our banking, everything we're doing. Brian from High Impact Flicks talked about it the other day. There's called the Banking for All Act, and that means that all of us, no matter what your pay scale, if you're homeless, would all have access to a digital currency holder, so a bank account or something like that, but you would also have access to it digitally. What do you think about that as far as every single person on Earth being banked? Not unbanked, but banked.
Yeah, I watch High Impact, and I believe it's basically just part of the times, because the dollar could only last so long the way that they're running it, and we all know that they want to have their control grid over the whole planet. So it's kind of just an inevitable thing, but at the same time, we got to stand against it.
Well, I agree with you there as well. Is there anything else that you would like to say tonight, as far as if you've been watching the show for a long time? Is there anything that you can think of that you have been waiting to say?
Just that thing that happened over in Beirut, and the TR-3Bs that you were looking at earlier. I think that could have been a possible TR-3B that could have done that over there in Beirut, but that's just speculation.
Well, I guess that's all we can have without Q clearance. But well, thank you so much for calling in, Aaron. And it's your first time call. I hope it's not your last.
All right, you have a good day. Thanks.
All right, you too. What do you guys think of the mark? Do you think it's not only real but happening very soon? That's the majority of what I hear in my inboxes and my DMs. Stephen Faust says Jericho or something, or other on Netflix is a good show. They should bring back. I've been calling. I can't ever get through. Stephen Faust, you have to call in the earliest part of the show. When the show starts, that's when you have to call. That's why, the woman who said she's been trying to get a hold of me for years, I do place. What we'll do is I'm probably going to add something to contact, but I've said it a million times. You can DM me on Twitter. I don't mind if you DM me multiple times, if that's what brings it up to the top. You can also email Dex. You can also email me. You can also call us here at the show. Some people like, Snafu, he calls with two phones and just calls, just like you would call a radio show, but he gets through all the time. Some people that kind of know you have to call early in the show because once it fills up, obviously you can keep calling, but you got to hear that dial tone. Jill Sadok says, "Hey, Adam, love your music. Also, quote, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ," Acts 2:38. Jill, and I believe a couple other people, you guys all do Act 2:38, and I love that it's actually kind of been a group thing lately. Survival Living, with that earthquake today northwest of me in Florida, a luxurious submarine kind of sounds like a perfect prep. Ha ha ha. Much love, fam. Appreciate all you do, Adam. Well, thank you, Survival Living. Thank you for being around for a long time, too. And thanks for sticking up for your fellow preppers. Just like we should be sticking up for other niches and everybody else. Just John Vlogs says, "Thanks for applying scripture to what's happening in the world." No problem. Just John, nice to see you here again tonight. Roy Arredondo Jr., thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then Great American Fallout says, "Killing it as usual." Thank you. Soul Woman, thank you for your support tonight. Thank you for supporting our independent news. Tamara Rodriguez, thank you as well for your continued support tonight. Johnny Hump, thank you as well. Survival Living again, thank you. And then Jason Beck, so glad that you are back on the horse. John Brock, thank you. Dex, if you could add over to their the contributors over on Screener for DLive. For some reason, DLive's been glitchy over on my side. But again, Baldy Locks Awake tried to call Will next time. Baldy Locks Awake, you've been a part of this fam for a long time, you and your wife. If you need to get in, just let us know. Jilly J, Johnny Doom, Susan Big, Mama of 6, thank you so much. Glow White, thank you again. Thank you for the Ninjagini. Says, Jesus said, fear not and ask anything, doubting nothing. He was saying, have faith and lift up. One thing I want to say is, if you get used to some of these scenarios, it doesn't really bother you much. And when it does happen, you won't freeze up. Lady Green Eyes says, in Canada, search masks when having sex. Canada, is that illegal now? Or is it illegal to not? That's a weird thing. The mark is the VAX. Don't take it. Go oof grid. Appalachian Girl, I know there's a lot of folks who agree with that statement here tonight. Bobby D, Laura Griffith, Crazy Cajun, and Unicorn Forest, thank you all for being here tonight. Jet Black Congo, thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe, you will get a shout out. And then Sandra Stewart, Pax Human, and then Luna Soul and Tall Drink of Water. Thank you for joining me on multiple. Amy R, thank you so much for your support tonight. And I apologize. The one thing, you were doing subscriptions like crazy, and I so much appreciate that. Amy R, thank you, at 8,000 lemons tonight. And Veteran Steve being our number 2, and MRSA 1 being our number 3. Dex, obviously we have a lot of stuff coming up, I believe, in the next week. I would love it if you as well say, is there anything that you want to tell everybody tonight?
Yeah, the thing that and I mentioned this in our other program, but the thing that really is bothering me is that the massive amount of division that's being just really pushed in almost every subject, every topic. And I know you're really a proponent of bringing people together and bringing people up. And I guess everybody really needs to pay attention to that division. It's being programmed. It's being done to us. And we need to make sure that we can have your opinions, we can have our ideals and all these other things, but we also need to be well aware of what is being created around us and try to resist it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And then as far as pushing each other up, I think after this, Gives a Minute is such a great and positive guy. There's Tujon, there's all sorts of folks. But first off, it is officially time for the shoutro. It's not a shout out. It's not a outro. It's a... I missed the knob. It's a shoutro. I thank you guys so much for coming. Amy R, we've got song time. And then Pamela Stinks, thank you so much for your support. Tonight is going to be a good one. Just did this one. Thank you, Jill. JWTV, what is going on? Is that the JWTV? Hold up. JWTV says, my video's been banned and I've been defunded. Tell people find JWTV on Twitch. Look up Hurricane Bubble Nets. They wildin'. JW, I'm so sorry to hear that. I am really sorry to hear that. You've been grinding for just as long as I have. Cactus Jane, thank you for following. JW, get a hold of me on Twitter. Let's make a quick one. We're going to go over to FNA Van Life and check up on them. Let's refresh this. I hope that all of you went over.
You are my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do everything you do. You are my everything, this much is true. We are Marfoogle family and nothing's stopping us. 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 We've got to go back and roll and everybody know they lose control. I'm so sorry, JWTV, that's hard. Oh, that's why we watch what we say, and it's so hard every single day. I want those E-faces, a groovy show. Hailing from the ATX, got intel back to you. A tower and a frost tower, look at that. 45 degrees angle, see the owl, got the cow, go and scowl at the new now song. God be with you, Adam and Dex, Dr. Neil. I love the way you do everything you do. You are my everything, this much is true. Got the Cactus Jane and Stephen Faust and everyone. Gotta go and now the veteran Steve and Mr. Don. Hello, all my friends, thank you, Amy R. All time largest, all contributor. Gonna bring back now with the body locks awake, Johnny Doom and a Dixie Dog. Got a Mama Six and a Sandra Stewart and Dixie Dog. Got the Lunar Soul, got the everybody under the Maui racing control. I love the way you do everything you do. You are my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do everything you do. Every time that we've gone away of the love we do. Hey Brooke, hey, thank you for your support and I know love. You are my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do everything you do. Says, how to the heck do I keep my paralyzed son safe when it hits the fan? We are not taking the mark and I know this no man. You my everything, this much is true. I love the way you do everything you do. We are Marfoogle family and nothing's stopping us. Now you've got the rock that coming back round, everybody knows. It's out of control where they go, if nobody knows. With the lily boo and the red-headed stranger, that man racing real to anger. Gotta get the Johnny Do hexagon, no Peter, not one Adam 12. There will be justice, just follow. Thank you and welcome to the fam. The Palomino and the Die-Man. Thanks Adam and Dex, man. What a great show. And the colors and Kahaja and the fly girl and the delight for Johnny Machine. Hope it's sun for you and thank you for stopping 2 months in a row now. And a bear love 92,000. Gotta love the way that you love the way you do.
it down the street. Gotta be polyhonor with me. Top girl and the girl, all kicking it with the latte. Gotta be the job, got me funky. Gotta go back down like this.
I just don't love you, baby. Jabba that Marfoogle. I just don't love you, baby. Jabba that Marfoogle. He's a bad man, Jabba that Marfoogle.
Gotta rock, gotta love everything in the Marfoogle. Jabba that Marfoogle. I don't see all you over here. I'm gonna read some comments over on this video. Fun day, Sunday, fun day. Over on FNA Van Life. They are so close to 10,000, you can smell it. Doing that love got to be wrong. Gotta do it. I hear the sound hitting that 10,000 to the story. These people boys so nice, I swear. I will show you the truth about becoming up to the high. Call me back out, and now you know. Gotta get that lovely tag. Going back around, and you know. Gonna love that funky life. Gonna go back now, it feels alright. Da 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 da. Texas Rob.
I just don't love you, baby.
Type Girl.
I just don't love you, baby.
Chrissy 27.
I just don't love you, baby.
I forgot what I was talking about. Let's go over, do everything you can. Gotta back down with the man. Never gonna back down to the bags. Never gonna take it back in the bag. Gonna go watch it down and I gotta do it just like that. BFFFN man. Like, gonna bring it back down. Gonna do it the way I do it now. If you a Foogle fan watching the replay, I see ya. Fashion on, I'm gonna bring it back down. Fashion and that lifestyle act now. Carlene, Schaefer, and the rest now. Gonna be a conquest, Josh Ashner. Audie Rodriguez and Tommy Burr. Gonna bring it back down and I answer. Smart Kid 14, B&W. Affliction, Snow and Jonah. And the poor man's poison. Gotta bring it back and I'm toying. With all the love from the Audie Rodriguez. Gonna be back now, I see this. Angela Karma, gonna back down like a snake egg charmer. I got the soulful queen.net. I'm gonna go back down and yeah. Run it, I see me laughing. Gonna do it heaven and be a big lies. Gonna be back in safety lies. Gonna do it like MB Lee vibes. Oh, like a less spotted. Gonna go down like I'm downtrodden. Got a decade, got a seat made. Going and flying by the Laura Reed Day. Gonna do it just like the Aaron Lynn. Gonna go like that Michael Flynn. Bertha Nada, do your Prada. Going on the Lauber, going out now. With that channel demo. Gonna bring the Salem Road Hollies. Asian vibe, go to side. Just like you got that most control. Gonna go down like the haunted doll. Hey, Chris Locker, going thanks up. Going back down in the thanks that roll. Sadie Dyker, old big biker. Got that grandfather matter and the Riker. Hey, like a Star Trek and a Roxy. Clinging bird like a Riker. Going back down and now I fight you. And it's like almost Homestead. Looks like me, oh. By the way, Almost Homestead passed on the Love Mob. We love mobbed him. I met his son at the grocery store. Got a Canadian barber. Got them big loves. Top Girl 1 and everybody got that bubba. From Bob's Adventure on Wheels. Gotta see that deal on 10K. I got the Chasey Give Luck 10 vlogs and everybody wanna say Christy Hot, Jim Morrow. Gotta go back to
91. Thanks for saying hello. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Roof over my head, I'm grateful. Not sitting around being hateful. Gotta walk down that street with the croquet. Sean Murray and the Mel Jemay. Thanks, glad to be here. Thankful for your show and hailing from the A-Town. I'm gonna bring it out, oh swear. No lassie, down the well. Too well, and now we know how. I'm gonna bring that back round, oh swear.
Hey, veteran Steve, MRSA 1, Christ 2797, all for him. Glow White, thank you so much for your support. Channel Jammer, Sammy Lee, I haven't seen you in a bee. Thank you so much for your support. Hags 6996, I appreciate your support. Thank you, and I'm sorry I missed you earlier. Luna Soul, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. All of you. Amy R, our all-time contributor, and tonight's number one. Thank you.
Sitting around being hateful. Roof over my head, I'm grateful. Not sitting around being hateful. Roof over my head, I'm grateful. Not sitting around being hateful.
No, this isn't it.
I just want to go back and love you. All for him, I won't win. I will show you all the way. Gotta bring it back today. Oh, no, my da, da, da. Got the Christina V. Gotta go back and see. Hey, Dex Drive 49 and Crazy Coyote. Gotta bring it back around. Veteran Steve, I love you. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. going now. It's a freestyle of the time. Going back down and we gotta buy like a box of Pringles now. Gonna go back down, I know I frown. Oh, I scare at these people being negative and they be seeing all that negative side of me. But going back down and never play. I bring it down, I love you now. Bring it on down and now I know. Oh, you lovely Foogle fam, they gonna bring it all back on down. Hello to Rufus. A window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse from Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Gotta go back on a roundabout. I'm gonna bring back and drive a mile. Right past Hillside Dock on there. I'm gonna go back just John Blows. Gonna do it back in a gold rock. Gonna go back and say hurrah. Don't know if I'm ever leaving. Going back around a heaving. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. You know it. He is always gonna be there. Glow white, shadow jammer, and breathe. crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going